Now I'd like to ask you some questions about your life, Susan. You might find them very personal, but it's important that you answer me as honestly as possible.
Fine. Let's get it over with then, shall we? I'd like to go home at last.
Of course, I understand. So, Susan, let's see. Are you living alone at the moment?
I live on my own, and it suits me just fine. I don't need anyone. People mostly bore me. Sometimes they annoy me or upset me. I'm happy with how things are at the moment. I have my little bit of space, and it's my own. It's private. I'd like to keep it that way.
What do you do for a living?
I'm a waitress. I work in a cafe.
You do? Do you like it?
It's okay. I don't mind it. It's just a job.
It's important to keep busy. I'd advise you get back to work as soon as next week.
I will.
Describe to me what your mornings look like. What is the first thing you do each day?
I eat breakfast. Cereal usually.
Excellent. A healthy breakfast at the start of the day is extremely important. Would you say that you feel safer at home than outside?
I suppose. It's not really about safety. I've just felt sad for a long time now. Really sad, you know? Somehow it brings me down even more when I go out and see all those happy, successful people. It makes me feel more like a failure. If I don't see it, it doesn't hurt that much.
What do you think is missing in your life? Or rather, what is one thing that you think would make your life better?
It would be nice to have more money, I guess.
Sure, of course. Don't we all? Have you ever attended group therapy for depression or some other form of counseling?
No, I'm not sure it's a good idea. Especially the group therapy thing. I'd hate it.
You should at least give it a go first, and then decide. If you don't like it, we can think of something else, yeah?
If you insist. But I doubt it'll help.
Do you have problems sleeping?
Rarely. I sleep well most nights. If anything, I probably sleep too much.
Would you describe for me how you feel at the moment?
Definitely better than before the accident.
Good. Hopefully you can now move on from here. With a bit of luck you will enjoy life again. Suicide attempts often have that effect on people. Same as near-death experience. It makes you realize that you're not ready to die yet. Do you find it hard to concentrate?
No, not really.
Do you drink alcohol, Susan?
No.
That's good. Alcohol is a powerful depressant.
I never really liked drinking.
Excellent. Sometimes when life gets too much and people feel sad or upset, they think about suicide. Do you often think about suicide?
Well, I used to think about it sometimes. Don't you think about it when you're really down?
Susan, I'm a psychiatrist. My job is to talk people out of it. Would you ask a fireman if he ever thinks about setting fire to his house?
I suppose not. But I'm sure lots of people have times when they do think about it.
I couldn't say, Susan. The statistics show that men are 3 times more likely than women to commit suicide. That puts you in the minority. But of course, that's missing the point. Suicide is never the solution. There's always a way of solving whatever problem you might have.
I realize that now.
Please, in your own words, try to explain to me, why did you really try to take your own life, Susan?
It was just a sudden impulse. I'm ashamed of it now. I had a really rotten day, you know? I felt like I was suffocating between the 4 walls of my bedroom. It just would get worse and worse. By the afternoon, I realized I cried for the past 3 hours. I didn't even know I'd been crying until I went to the bathroom and saw my face in the mirror. I looked like a ghost. I looked like I was dead already, you know? And then I saw the sleeping pills. I thought, why not? And I did it.
Do you feel as if you're a burden, or that life isn't worth living?
Not anymore. It's strange. But I feel lighter. I feel stronger. Besides, I live alone. Who could I be a burden to?
What makes you feel better?
My cats. I always put out a bowl of food for the stray cats. They're ever so grateful. I like their company.
What makes you feel worse?
Noise. Too much noise really upsets me. I can hear everything through the thin walls of my flat. I have this neighbour. He often parties late into the night. It drives me crazy.
Have you imagined your funeral and how people will react to your death?
Oh, I never really thought about that. But I guess it would be a cheap one. I don't really know what they do with people like me. Maybe they just throw us in a hole and forget about it, since there'd be nobody to visit my grave anyway.
I don't think so, Susan. The city would pay for it.
Or so they want people to believe.
Finally, I'd like you to tell me about Eric.
Eric?
Yes, your husband. I believe this might be important. What can you tell me about your relationship? What had happened between you two?
There's nothing to talk about.
Fine. I suppose you've opened enough for one day. Okay, one more question. This is just a formality, but I have to ask, are you going to do it again?
That's a hard one. I don't know. But hey, I've got it. The answer is no, I'm not. Thank you very much.
Excellent. We're nearly done here. There's just one more thing I must clear with you. What exactly happened last night?
Well, after I'd met you outside the ward yesterday, I went back to my room and fell asleep. I slept really well, considering what happened earlier. But then someone woke me up. It was the same nurse who was so friendly with me the first night. She said we needed to talk.
We must go, Susan. You are not safe here.
But...
Please, you must follow me, quickly.
I went after her. The ward seemed very quiet. It must have been late at night.
Hurry!
Wait for me. Tell me what's going on here. The security guys were gone. She pointed at the corridor and said,
You go first. I'll explain everything in a minute.